Good morning, everyone. I'd like to say welcome back or thank you for tuning in for the first time, depending which viewership you're going into. This week, we're having a focus on the weekly wizarding profile for Godric Gryffindor. So, we're going to go ahead and get started on some information for Godric Gryffindor. So, Godric or Godric, depending on where you're from, you hear it pronounced both ways. He is one of the four founders of Hogwarts. So Hogwarts was founded by Rowena Ravenclaw, Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, and Salazar Slytherin. For that as well too. Godric Gryffindor himself was born in England pre 960, very long time ago. For that as well too. As many of you know, or may not know, after his death, Godric's Hollow was named after him in order to honor him as one of the greatest wizards of his generation, as one of the great founders of Hogwarts. His portrait still hangs at Hogwarts that you'll see today. So was believed to have praised with courage, determination, and strength above all other qualities for people who are looking at potentially joining his house. He also valued bravery and daring for a lot of his students. And he did pick students based on saying if they had those qualities, because that's what he valued most in those qualities for people. So when you're looking at House Gryffindor, bravery, courage, determination, daring, those are descriptions of the house traits. Each of the houses all determined what their traits were and kind of looked at students based on that as well too, which is pretty cool. So during his time, the four founders, Rowena, Godric, Salazar, and Helga, all became very close friends. They were adults when they founded Hogwarts. So as they became friends, all very close, eventually, as happens in life, difference of opinions start to pull people away. And one of these difference of opinions was a very fundamental, huge thing. Salazar Slytherin and Godric, as well as the other three founders of Hogwarts, had issues with Salazar's views that Muggleborns should not be allowed to be at Hogwarts or to join Hogwarts. So you have the purebloods, which are born of magical parents, both magical parents. You have Muggleborns, who are born of non-magical parents. You have half-bloods, who have a magical parent and a non-magical parent. But he did not want Muggleborns at all whatsoever to be able to attend Hogwarts. And Gryffindor completely disagreed with him on that mindset, as did the others, but it is believed that Gryffindor disagreed with him the most strongly about it. I'm not saying that the others were a little lenient or supported it in any kind of way, but he vocalized his disagreement much more to Slytherin on that topic of it. And so two friends who were as close as they could possibly be wound up splitting apart because of difference in ideology. He saw them as lesser people or lower human beings because they were Muggleborn and not born of parents of magic. For that as well too, how a person is born is not a choice that they have. It is just what is created from your genetics. So that's the way you are. And so they couldn't determine that they were born to magical parents yet able to wield magic. For that as well too. So that fundamental difference of disliking someone for qualities or traits that are out of their control split them apart. Salazar Slytherin did eventually leave Hogwarts and sever ties in his relationship with all the other members. But those of you know, if you've read the books or the movies, he did leave behind the Chamber of Secrets that would one day be able to open from one of his descendants, who would be able to rid rid Hogwarts of Muggleborn students. And that was, as we know, book 1, book 2, spoiler alert, the Chamber of Secrets. So one of the very cool things that I found it interesting doing research is that the Sorting Hat was created by the founders. So the magic on it but the hat actually belonged to Gryffindor. So the Hogwarts founders, Rowena, Helga, Salazar, and Gryffindor as well, they were all wondering, how are we going to keep sorting students once they've passed on? And so Gryffindor literally just grabbed the hat off his head, and they created a spell on it. So now we have the sorting hat, but that sorting hat belonged to Gryffindor. So that is a connection and a tie to House Gryffindor. We also know that there is the Sword of Gryffindor, and it's tied to the Sorting Hat as well. So whenever a true Gryffindor is in need of the sword, it'll allow itself to be pulled out of the Sorting Hat. So we saw that in Deathly Hallows. For that as well too, we saw that in Chamber of Secrets with Harry. for that as well. The sword also absorbs the powers of whatever it was used to destroy. So when Harry used it to destroy a basilisk, it absorbed the basilisk venom. So when we go into Deathly Hallows, and different swords were able, Harry was able to use it to destroy Horcruxes. So Neville used it to kill Nagini. Spoiler, sorry. In Deathly Hallows as well. Ron used it to destroy Salazar Slytherin's locket throughout the story of Deathly Hallows. Albus Dumbledore used it to destroy the ring, for that as well too. So it had that basilisk venom in there, and basilisk venom, as we learned, was able to destroy Horcruxes, which was pretty cool. And we also saw with the basilisk venom how Tom Riddle's diary and Chamber of Secrets was destroyed. Whole bunch of spoilers. Sorry, they happen when you're talking about character profiles, for that as well too. So Gryffindor, I enjoyed learning about him, and kind of creating this profile was rather fun to learn some different things about him. I knew the Sorting Hat was created by the founders, but I didn't actually know the hat belonged to Godric Gryffindor, and it makes sense considering that's how it's tied to the sword. So I hope you enjoyed this week's weekly Wizarding Profile with a focus on Godric Gryffindor. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to tuning in with you next week.